Hey there, Nocturnes! Welcome back to another episode of Surviving College. I'm Jeremy, a senior high school teacher based in the Philippines. For tonight, I'd like to talk about something frustrating, and that is, alright, managing the times when your priorities have been sidetracked. Just like what's happening to me. Recently, I had to recover from my fever, which I got after my presentation for master's class. The morning after that, I noticed my temperature went so high, higher than expected. That's a sign that I needed to rest. And thankfully, that was a non working holiday. But that non working holiday had been intended for me doing backlogs for work. But I never got to do them to the max because most of the time I was in bed recovering from my fever. Now, that is one example of your priorities getting sidetracked. You had intended to use your free time for a most important, urgent activity, but instead you were compelled to reallocate it for something else. And that something else is just as important and crucial. Let's say helping out a family member who's, let's say, in trouble, whether, whichever form of trouble that is, you need to respond. Otherwise, you might not hear from that family member anymore when it's your turn to be helped. So, in the case of managing office politics, if you've been asked by your boss to drop whatever you're doing, let's say it's a presentation for a client and you've been asked to drop that, now how can you set boundaries and at the same time help retain your rapport or positive relationship with your boss? You could say something like, all right, I could either prioritize what you're asking me to do now or this presentation for a client that we cannot lose. You ask your boss this question: which do you want me to prioritize? Which do you want me to prioritize is a key tactic. Why? Because you're letting your boss still reign over you. And you would come across as likable, and at the same time, your boss will not feel threatened. Unlike when you assert that no, this is the priority, I cannot stall this. If you do that, then it can be misconstrued as insubordination. And insubordination is an offense in some employee manuals. So there, just tell your boss or colleague that you could either do this or that, which is more important to them or urgent. Or if you're unwilling to, if both choices are not so desirable, then think of a third alternative. Ask your boss if you're willing to negotiate whatever it is that you're being asked to do. If you could ask for more lead time so that you can finish whatever you're preoccupied with, then go ahead. Okay? So there you go. That's one way you can deal with sidetracked priorities. Now, if ever your priority gets sidetracked, well, you can do offsetting by reallocating the other times that you reserved for other important things. If those other important things, let's say, could be cut short, then the excess could be allocated for the one that got compromised on that particular day. So if you want me to do another episode on offsetting, just let me know through the comments below. As far as time management is concerned, or scheduling, and feel free to share this video with those who are in need of this kind of advice, or if my advice is not reliable to you, just let me know through the comments. If you have questions, well, raise them. Until the next episode, continue surviving in the dark.